Maya stared at her phone screen. The call having ended 30 seconds ago, but she hadn't moved. Her mother's voice still echoed in her head, each word landing like a carefully aimed dart. "Look, we're inviting you to Emma's engagement party. But honestly, Maya, it's just out of pity. Your father and I both think it'd look bad if you weren't there, you know. So just come for an hour or two. You don't need to stay long." She'd smiled during that call. Actually smiled. Not because it was funny, but because if she didn't smile, she'd cry. And she'd promised herself years ago she wouldn't give them that satisfaction anymore. If your family has ever made you feel less than, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because this story will show you exactly how to turn that hurt into strength. And trust me, you'll want to see where this goes. Her studio apartment felt smaller than usual as she set the phone down on the kitchen counter. The afternoon sun came through the single window, highlighting the stack of design mock-ups scattered across her desk. Her laptop was still open, 3 different project tabs glowing on the screen. Maya walked to the bathroom and looked at herself in the mirror. 28 years old. Dark circles under her eyes from pulling late nights on freelance projects. Her hair was in a messy bun, and she was wearing the same hoodie she'd had on for 2 days straight. Out of pity, she whispered to her reflection. Her phone buzzed. A text from her younger sister, Emma. "Emma, Mom told me she called you. Please don't make it awkward at my party. Just dress nice and try to fit in for once, okay?" Maya's jaw tightened. She typed back with steady fingers. "Maya, wouldn't miss it. Congrats on the engagement." She didn't add a smiley face. Didn't add anything warm. Just sent it and tossed her phone onto the couch. The thing was, Maya had always been different. Not in a bad way, just different. While Emma went to law school and dated guys from country clubs, Maya had gone to a state school for graphic design. While Emma bought designer handbags, Maya thrifted her clothes and spent her money on software subscriptions and online courses. While Emma played it safe, Maya took risks. And her family never let her forget which choice they thought was better. She grabbed her jacket and headed out. She needed air. She needed to think. The coffee shop 3 blocks down was her usual spot. The barista James knew her order by heart. "Usual?" he asked as she walked up. "Yeah, thanks. You look stressed." "Everything okay?" Maya forced a smile. "Family stuff, you know how it is." James nodded knowingly as he made her latte. "Say less. My mom still asks me when I'm going to get a real job instead of working here while I finish my master's. Parents, man." "Yeah," Maya said softly. "Parents." She took her coffee to the corner table and opened her laptop. Her email inbox had 43 unread messages. Most were from clients. A few were from the startup she'd been working with for the past 6 months. Next-Gen Solutions. They were about to launch a major product, and Maya had designed everything from their logo to their app interface to their entire marketing campaign. One email stood out. The subject line read Contract Extension to Equity Offer. Her heart jumped. She clicked it open. "Maya, the board met yesterday. Your work has exceeded every expectation. We'd like to extend your contract through the product launch and beyond. Additionally, we're offering you a small equity stake in the company, 0.5% vested over 2 years. Given our projected valuation at IPO, this could be worth significant money. Let's talk details this week." Best Sarah Chen, CEO. Maya read it 3 times. Her hands were shaking slightly. Equity. In a company that analysts were saying could be worth hundreds of millions once it went public. She closed the laptop and sat back, staring out the window at the street. Her mother's voice played again in her head, out of pity. Something shifted in Maya's chest. Not anger exactly. Something colder. Something more focused. She pulled out her phone and opened her notes app. She started typing. "Emma's engagement party, June 15th, that gives me 5 weeks. She made a list. Finish next-gen project early. Exceed expectations. Sign equity agreement. Update portfolio website with new work. Reach out to Marcus about the magazine feature he mentioned. Get that haircut I've been putting off. Buy one really good outfit. Not expensive, just sharp. Show up, smile. Let them see. She wasn't going to argue with her mother. Wasn't going to send a hurt text to Emma. Wasn't going to post some emotional rant on social media. She was going to do something much simpler and much more devastating. She was going to prove them all wrong. Over the next 2 weeks, Maya barely slept. She worked 16-hour days perfecting every pixel of NextGen's product launch campaign. She attended video calls with the executive team, presenting ideas that made Sarah Chen literally say, "This is exactly why we hired you." She signed the equity agreement on a Tuesday afternoon. Her hands shook as she signed the documents. 0.5% didn't sound like much, but when she did the math based on the projected valuation, it was more money than her parents had made in 5 years combined. She didn't tell anyone. Her friend Jenna called one evening while Maya was working. "Hey, stranger, you alive?" "Barely," Maya said, rubbing her eyes. "What's up?" "I wanted to see if you're free this weekend. There's this art show downtown." "Can't." "Working?" "Maya, you're always working. When's the last time you did something fun?" Maya hesitated. "I have to go to my sister's engagement party in a few weeks." "Oh, that's nice." "Family time." Maya laughed, but it came out bitter. "Yeah, something like that." "You okay?" Maya said, and she meant it. 3 weeks before the party, something unexpected happened. Maya got a LinkedIn message from someone named David Torres. The message was short. "Hi Maya, I'm a journalist writing a piece for Design Today magazine about emerging designers as reshaping tech branding. Your work with NextGen caught my attention. Would you be interested in being interviewed?" She stared at the message. Design Today was one of the biggest publications in her field. She wrote back immediately. "Yes, absolutely." When? The interview happened over Zoom 2 days later. David asked smart questions, and Maya answered honestly. She talked about her design philosophy, her process, the challenges of being a freelancer. She didn't mention her family. Didn't mention the years of feeling like she wasn't good enough. She just talked about her work. "This is great stuff," David said at the end. "The piece will run in our July issue, but it'll be online June 10th. June 10th, 5 days before Emma's engagement party." Maya smiled. A real smile this time. "Perfect," she said. The week before the engagement party, Maya's life started moving faster than she could process. The Design Today article went live on June 10th, just like David said it would. Maya woke up that morning to 17 notifications on her phone, LinkedIn messages, emails, text from people she hadn't heard from in years. She opened the article on her laptop, coffee in hand. The headline read, 5 designers under 30 revolutionizing tech branding, and why you should know their names. Her photo was third in the lineup. Professional headshot she'd taken last month. The write-up was 3 paragraphs long, talking about her work with NextGen, her instinctive understanding of user psychology, and how she was on to watch in the coming years. Jenna called immediately. Maya, I'm literally looking at your face in Design Today right now. Why didn't you tell me?" Maya laughed, feeling lighter than she had in weeks. "I didn't know it was going to be this big of a deal." "Are you kidding? This is huge. We're celebrating tonight." "I'm not taking no for an answer." They met at a wine bar downtown. Jenna kept showing the article to the bartender, to other customers, to anyone who'd look. "I'm so proud of you," Jenna said, squeezing Maya's hand across the table. "You've been grinding for years and people are finally seeing it." Maya smiled, but something sat heavy in her chest. "My family still has no idea." Jenna's expression shifted. "You didn't tell them about the article." "They don't follow my work. My mom doesn't even know what a graphic designer does. She thinks I just make things pretty on computers." "That's insane." "That's my family." Jenna leaned forward. "So what are you going to do? Show up to this party and just casually drop that you're in a national magazine?" Maya swirled her wine. "I'm not going to drop anything. I'm just going to show up and exist. If they notice, they notice. If they don't," she shrugged. "That'll tell me everything I need to know." "You're stronger than me," Jenna said. "I'd print out the article and staple it to my forehead." Maya laughed, but inside, she felt the weight of 5 weeks of work, of late nights, of proving herself to everyone except the people she'd wanted to prove herself to her whole life. The next day, she went shopping. Not at a thrift store this time. She went to a real boutique, the kind with soft lighting and salespeople who asked if you needed help finding anything. She found a jumpsuit. Navy blue, tailored, elegant but not overdone. It fit perfectly. She bought it without checking the price tag. Then she got her hair done at a salon Jenna recommended. The stylist cut 4 inches off and added subtle layers that made everything feel lighter. When she looked in the mirror, she barely recognized herself. "You look expensive," the stylist said with a grin. "In the best way." Maya tipped her $40 and walked out feeling like someone else. Someone who belonged in rooms she'd always felt too small for. 2 days before the party, Sarah from NextGen called. Maya, hi. Do you have a minute? Yeah, of course. What's up? So we just closed another funding round. 15 million. And the investors specifically mentioned your branding work as one of the reasons they felt confident in the company's market positioning. Maya sat down slowly. Seriously. I'm sending over a bonus. 25,000. You earned it. $25,000. Maya's throat tightened. Sarah, I thank you. I don't even know what to say. You don't have to say anything. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're lucky to have you. After the call ended, Maya sat on her couch in complete silence. She looked around her small apartment, at the stack of ramen cups in the recycling bin, at the couch she'd bought secondhand 3 years ago. She opened her banking app. The bonus hadn't hit yet, but the equity agreement was in her documents folder. She did the math again. If the company went public at the valuation analysts were predicting, her 0.5% stake could be worth close to $400,000, maybe more. Her phone buzzed. A text from her mother. Mom, the party starts at 6. Please be on time. And Maya, please dress appropriately. Emma's fiance's family will be there, and we want to make a good impression. Maya stared at the text. She typed back with steady hands. Maya, I'll be there. She didn't add anything else. Didn't defend herself. Didn't ask what appropriately meant. She just sent it and put her phone down. The night before the party, Maya couldn't sleep. She kept running through scenarios in her head. What if no one noticed? What if they did notice and didn't care? What if she showed up and her mother still looked at her with that same disappointed expression she'd had Maya's whole life? She got out of bed and sat at her desk. Opened her laptop, pulled up photos from the NextGen campaign, the sleek app interface, the billboard design that would go up in San Francisco next month, the product packaging that was already getting pre-orders in the thousands. She'd built this. All of it. With her own hands, her own mind, her own late nights and early mornings. No one gave it to her. No one handed her a law degree or a trust fund or an easy path. She'd earned every single pixel. Her phone lit up with a notification. An email. She opened it. It was from Marcus, a senior designer she'd met at a conference 2 years ago. The subject line read saw the DT article. Let's talk. She opened it. Maya, congrats on the Design Today feature. Well deserved. I'm reaching out because my firm is looking for a creative director for our tech division. It's a senior role, fully remote, 140K base plus benefits and profit sharing. I immediately thought of you. I know you're freelancing, but if you're ever interested in something more stable, let's chat. No pressure. Marcus. Maya read it twice. Then 3 times. $140,000 a year. She closed the laptop and lay back down in bed. But she was smiling now. Tomorrow she'd walk into that engagement party. Tomorrow, her mother would see her. Her sister would see her. Emma's fancy fiancé and his fancy family would see her, and they'd have no idea what they were looking at. The venue was exactly what Maya expected. A country club on the edge of town, the kind with perfectly manicured lawns and a circular driveway where valets took your keys. She pulled up in her 10-year-old Honda Civic, and the valet gave her a polite but slightly condescending smile. Enjoying the party? He asked. About to, Maya said, handing him the keys. She walked through the entrance, and immediately the air changed. Everything smelled like expensive perfume and fresh flowers. String quartet music floated from somewhere inside. Women in cocktail dresses held champagne glasses, and men in blazers talked about golf handicaps and stock portfolios. Maya smoothed down her navy jumpsuit and walked in. Her mother saw her first. She was standing near the entrance with Maya's father, greeting guests. Her expression flickered, surprise, then assessment, then something Maya couldn't quite read. Maya, her mother said. You came? I said I would. Her mother's eyes traveled up and down, taking in the outfit, the hair, the confidence Maya was barely holding together. You look different. Thanks, Maya said simply. Her father gave her an awkward side hug. Good to see you, kiddo. Emma's over by the bar. You should go say hi. Translation. Don't stay here and make this uncomfortable. Maya nodded and walked deeper into the party. Eyes followed her. She could feel it. People she didn't recognize, friends of Emma's, distant relatives who'd never bothered to learn her name. She found Emma near the bar exactly where her father said. Emma was glowing in a white dress, her engagement ring catching the light every time she moved her hand. She was talking to a tall guy in an expensive suit. Her fiancé, Brandon. "Maya!" Emma said when she spotted her. Her smile was bright but didn't reach her eyes. "You made it. Congrats," Maya said. "Brandon, right? That's me." He shook her hand firmly. "Emma's told me a lot about you. I'm sure she has," Maya said with a small smile. Emma's expression tightened just slightly. "Maya, this is Brandon's business partner, Chris." "Chris, this is my sister." Chris turned around, and Maya's stomach flipped. She knew him. Not personally, but she'd been on 3 video calls with him over the past 2 months. He was one of the investors NextGen had been pitching to. Chris's eyes widened in recognition. "Wait, Maya! Maya Chen?" Emma blinked. "You two know each other?" "Know each other?" Chris laughed. "She's the designer I've been telling you about, Brandon. The one working on that tech startup I invested in. NextGen Solutions." Brandon's eyebrows raised. "No kidding. Small world." Emma looked between them, confused. "What? You're working with Chris? Consulting?" Maya said casually. "For one of his portfolio companies." Chris jumped in, enthusiastic now. "Dude, she's incredible. The branding work she did is half the reason we felt confident putting money into that company. Their product launch is going to be massive." Emma's smile was frozen now. "Oh, that's great. And I just saw her feature in design today," Chris continued. "My wife sent it to me. She's an interior designer, and she follows all the design publications. She was like, 'You have to work with this woman.'" Maya felt her face flush. "It was just a small article, ma small." Chris shook his head. "It was a whole feature. They called you one of the top 5 designers under 30. That's not small." Brandon looked at Emma, then back at Maya. "That's impressive. Congrats." "Thanks," Maya said quietly. Emma's jaw was tight. "I didn't know you were in a magazine." "It just came out last week." "You didn't mention it." Maya met her sister's eyes. "You didn't ask." The silence stretched for a beat too long. Then Chris broke it. "Anyway, Maya, we should talk soon. I've got 2 other companies in my portfolio that could use your eye." "I'd love that," Maya said. "Email me." "Will do." Emma excused herself, something about needing to check on the caterer. Brandon followed her, giving Maya an apologetic look. Chris lowered his voice. "Sorry, did I overstep? I didn't realize there was tension." Maya smiled, a real smile this time. "You didn't overstep. That was perfect, actually." He grinned. "Good, because I meant everything I said." "You're really talented, Maya." "Thank you." The rest of the party played out like a strange dream. Maya moved through the room, and people kept approaching her. Someone recognized her from the Design Today article. Someone else knew her work from a conference. A woman asked for her card because her company was rebranding. Maya handed out her contact information like she'd been doing this her whole life. Across the room, she saw her mother watching. Her expression was unreadable. An hour in, Maya went to get a glass of water from the bar. Her mother appeared beside her. "You've been busy," her mother said. It wasn't a question. "Yeah, work's been good." Emma didn't know about any of this. The magazine. The consulting? Maya looked at her. "I didn't think she'd care." Her mother's face tightened. "That's not fair, isn't it?" Maya's voice was calm, not angry, just honest. "Mom, you called me 5 weeks ago and told me you were inviting me out of pity. You told me not to stay long, like I was some embarrassment you had to tolerate." Her mother's mouth opened, then closed. "I didn't mean." "You did mean it, and that's fine. I get it. I'm not Emma. I didn't go to law school. I don't have a fiancé with a trust fund. I didn't do things the way you wanted me to." Maya paused. "But I did them my way, and it's working." Her mother looked down at her champagne glass. "I didn't know things were going so well for you. You never asked." The silence sat heavy between them. Finally, her mother said, "I'm proud of you, Maya." Maya felt something crack in her chest. But she didn't cry. She just nodded. "Thanks." "I should have said that sooner. I should have asked." "Yeah," Maya said softly. "You should have." Her mother reached out like she was going to touch Maya's arm, then pulled back. "Will you stay for dinner?" Maya looked around the room. At Emma, who was avoiding eye contact. At her father, talking business with Brandon's family. At all these people who'd looked right through her for years. Then she looked at her mother, who was waiting for an answer. "No," Maya said gently. "I don't think I will." Her mother's face fell. But not because of what you think. Maya added, I'm leaving because I want to. On my terms. Not because I feel like I don't belong, and not because I'm trying to prove something. I'm leaving because I have work to do. Real work. And I'm excited about it. Her mother nodded slowly. Okay. Tell Emma I'm happy for her. I mean that. I will. Maya set down her water glass and grabbed her purse. She walked toward the exit, and halfway there, Emma caught up with her. Maya, wait. Maya turned. Emma's face was a mess of emotions. I didn't know. About any of it? I know. Why didn't you tell me? Maya studied her sister. Emma, who'd always had everything figured out. Emma, who'd never had to wonder if she was enough. Because you never made me feel like my life mattered, Maya said. Not cruel. Just true. You've been so focused on your own path that you never once asked about mine. Emma's eyes welled up. That's not fair. Maybe not. But it's honest. They stood there, two sisters who'd grown up in the same house but lived in completely different worlds. I'm sorry, Emma said finally, for how Mom talked to you, for not seeing you. Maya felt her throat tighten. Thank you. Can we try to do better? Like actually try. Maya thought about it. About years of feeling invisible. About choosing herself anyway. About the fact that forgiveness didn't mean forgetting, but it also didn't mean holding grudges forever. Yeah, Maya said. We can try. Emma hugged her, quick and tight. I really am proud of you. I know I never said it, but I am. I know. Maya whispered. She pulled away and walked out of the country club into the warm June evening. The valet brought her car around, and she tipped him $20 just because she could. As she drove away, she looked at the venue in her rearview mirror, getting smaller and smaller. Her phone buzzed. A text from Jenna. Jenna, how'd it go? Maya smiled. Maya, I'll tell you everything, but short version. I won. Jenna. Tell el mini viriashi gri ght nigo. Maya pulled over into a parking lot and called her. Jenna picked up on the first ring. Start from the beginning. Leave nothing out. And Maya did. She told her about Chris recognizing her, about Emma's face, about her mother's stiff apology, about leaving on her own terms. That's the most badass thing I've ever heard, Jenna said. You know that, right? Maya laughed. It doesn't feel badass. It just feels right. That's because real revenge isn't about burning bridges. It's about building yourself a better life and letting them watch. When did you get so wise? I've always been wise. You're just finally listening. Maya drove home that night with the windows down, music playing, feeling lighter than she had in years. Not because her family finally saw her. Not because she'd proven them wrong. But because she'd proven herself right. She was enough. She'd always been enough. And she didn't need their pity, their approval, or their validation to know it. 3 weeks later, NextGen's product launched. It was a massive success. Maya's bonus hit her account. The job offer from Marcus was still sitting in her inbox, and she was seriously considering it. Her mother called one afternoon. Hi, sweetheart, how are you? Sweetheart, not just Maya. That was new. I'm good, Mom. Busy you. Good. Listen, your father and I were talking, and we'd love to take you to dinner. Just the three of us. If you're free. Maya looked at her calendar. She was slammed with work, but something in her mother's voice made her pause. Yeah, she said. I think I can do that. Really? That's wonderful. How about Saturday? Saturday works. After they hung up, Maya sat at her desk and stared out the window. This wasn't the ending she'd imagined 5 weeks ago. She'd thought she'd show up, drop the mic, and walk away forever. But life wasn't a movie. Revenge wasn't about dramatic exits. It was quieter than that. Slower, more real. It was about choosing yourself when no one else did. Building something beautiful out of the pieces of yourself they said weren't good enough. And then deciding, on your own terms, whether or not to let them back in. Maya opened her laptop and got back to work. Because at the end of the day, the best revenge wasn't making them sorry. It was making them see what they almost missed. If you made it this far, you already know how powerful it feels to prove the doubters wrong, not with words, but with results. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, drop a comment telling me about a time Weiou proved someone wrong, and share this story with anyone who needs to hear it. Because sometimes, the best comeback is the life you build when no one's watching.